Hi, hello, and welcome to this week's Fiverific live craft and chat where we craft and chat live. I was getting all set up for the live stream and I'm looking at a little ticker down the bottom that's like usually tells me like you've got an hour to go, and it was like 12 hours, and I'm like, and I went and had a look. And I had set the stream for 10 p.m. instead of 10 a.m. So hopefully that's all fixed and sorted everywhere. I'm seeing lots of people that were in the chat this morning. I'm just going to scroll back. Kathy was our first. So good morning to Kathy. How are you going? I wonder if you're still here. We've got Christina is saying good morning to everybody. Just having a quick scroll. Red Hooked is back in the house. Hello from Ohio. Hello from Brisbane, Australia. Kelly Pole is working, which is our little term for work and lurking at the same time. Let me have a look. Leanne's craft room is here. Everyone is here. I'm so excited. Do you know what? I was going to show you guys my knitted shirt, and I've just realized I've left it in my bedroom. I don't even have it handy. So I knitted a shirt this week. Like, what? I did a ranunculus. And I had so much fun with it. I was like, oh, I don't know if I really want this. I didn't like how, like, because I'm plus size, right? Like, hello, obviously. And the thought of doing like a plus size top that was like extra boxy and extra, ease, because there's like 47 centimeters of positive ease in that top. And I was just like, oh, I don't know if I want that. And then I've got friends here. So Kelly and Bianca, who've both made more than one. And they're like, oh, no, you can totally change it up. So I went and I bought the pattern and I made it. And oh, my gosh, now I'm like, what am I going to use to make the next one? And you know the thing I love about it more than anything else? For me to make a wearable garment in knit, I'm looking at usually anywhere from 500 to 800 grams of like a 4-ply, right? Which is a lot of yarn. It's a lot of yarn, and it makes it heavy, and just, it's subtropical here. Even our winters, we don't want to wear a kilo of wool, right? So my top is like 200 and something grams. It's I pushed into the 5th ball, but just barely, and I still had a little left on the 4th ball. I didn't want to start a sleeve and then run out and have to do an extra join. So I was like, I'm just going to start another ball. So I pushed into a 5th ball. So it's under 250 grams. And I'm just like blown away at this top. And I made mine so it fits, right? Like it's not snug. Like I consider what I'm wearing to be snug, right? Like this bit's not snug, this is snug. Or this one, you can see this one better. That's a bit snug for me. So I made it, it's positive ease, but it's not 47 centimeters positive ease. You reckon I should go and get it? I will go and get it. I'm going to go and get it. So do I have a be right back screen? I don't know if I do. Let me see. I do. I have a be right back. I don't know what audio you're going to get while the be right back screen is playing, but you can let me know when I come back because I know exactly where it is and I can get it really fast. So I'll be right back. Oh, it's got a camera on it. Let's kill that. Okay. Did it have audio? I don't know if it had audio. So it used to have a song, and this is new software, so I don't know if it has the song here. So, oh, it's the old Be Right Back music. Yeah, that was the plan. It was like, it's the old screen with the old music. I thought I'd bring it all in. We'll see how it works. Okay, so I have my shirt. I'm not going to wear it. I'm just going to hold it up. But here we go. So I made a t-shirt. And it's so cute. And it fits. And it's so comfy. And I love it. And it's super, it's so light. And it is, it's an organic cotton. It's so soft. It's hard to describe how soft it is. But yeah. So those of you that are coming to Caffeinated Crafters on Saturday, I'll be wearing it. But yeah, I really love it. I really love it. I'm like, okay, so I used this cotton, and I know it's probably a little too skin tone, but I used this cotton because I had it, right? And now I'm like, what else do I have that I can make a top out of? So I'm very happy with it. And it's just, I'll drop into the overhead camera. It's got just a little bit of interest, and it's mostly just straight knitting. So it was, there we go. So it's got like the interest around the yoke, but then the rest of it's just, sorry, there's a blanket under here being all lumpy and bumpy. And then the rest of it's just straight knitting, and the sleeves are nice. I made like the long sleeves because I wanted them just a little longer and a little cuff thing. So, but I didn't want it tight, so I didn't change the needles on my cuff. And the other thing that I did differently was, rather than the big section of rib, because I want it as a t-shirt, I did a variation. So I made a little split and just knit backwards and forwards a little bit. And then, so that I didn't have so many yarns to weave in, because I'm lazy, remember, I actually crochet slip stitched around the edges to just sort of tighten them off a little and give them a little bit of strength. But it was such a dream. Like under 250 grams, I got a garment. Like, so this was 180 meters per 50 grams. So someone else can do the math. I could probably weigh it, and we could work out exactly how much I use. There are scales in this room, and it is under 500 grams. Let's to the scales. Go away, blanket. We'll get to you in a minute. I promise. To the scales. Okay, it is 205.89 grams. No, 0.8. The eights. It's flipping around. It's under 206 grams. So, you know. Now, I probably will next time, because I was allowing for the fact that cotton will drape. It will get longer as I wear it. And that's okay. I've no qualms with that. So I made it a little shorter. So I think next time I would definitely add in maybe another inch or two in the bottom if I'm not working with cotton. If I'm working with cotton, I'm really happy with this length. So anyway, so this is my ranunculus. And I got to do some things, because like, I don't see how this is sitting on my neck. It actually bothers me. I've realized I shouldn't have worn this shirt already, like 5 minutes in. I don't like how it keeps creeping up and touching my neck. So I was able to put short rows in the back only, leave the front so it actually sits just a little lower at the front. It's perfect for me. It's my perfect t-shirt. I'm so happy with it. I've got some knitting skills I need to get better at, for sure. I'm not going to point them out. I know what they look like. Let's just say me and sleeves and picking up stitches on sleeves, not the best of friends. Gosh, my I've made it this year pile is getting quite large. Okay, so let's jump in. Has anybody here made the ranunculus? Let's ask that. I'm just going to go through the comments here. I'm just going to move this over so I can make the comments longer. There we go. Lots of, it's beautiful. Thank you, Bianca. It's so pretty from Kathy. It's so good to see you in the live chat, Kathy. Hey, Megan, how are you going? It's good to see you. It's very pretty. I plan to wear it on Saturday for Caffeinated Crafters. Game Widows, I was so shocked at how easy, and it's all 6mm needles. It's well, I used 5.5s because I'm a loose knitter as well as a loose crocheter. It is Molly. It is called the ranunculus. I believe that a link got popped in at some stage. Kelly Pole has popped in a link. Over 20,000 projects have been made on Rivalry, so there is tons of help. There is a million YouTube videos if you need help. The actual pattern has links to silent videos of just working the stitches, which I really, really appreciate. Hang on a second. Hello. Abby's home from her intrepid journeys. Game Widow says I should probably weigh my handspun jumper. It feels fairly light. Yeah, definitely give it a weigh. Go and check it out. Christina says it looks fantastic. Yeah, it wasn't much yarn at all. I was dubious, right? Because I was frogging another project that was seven balls, so 350 grams of this organic shaken cotton, right? And these girls were like, oh, you only need like 600 meters of yarn. I'm like, okay. For skinny people. Well, I only needed like 800 meters. Like, which is not, it's not a lot. It's not a lot of yarn in the scheme of things. But yeah, I think depending on the yarn that you're using and depending on how holey it is, like how open the stitching is, you may need a little cami under it. This one here, I don't need to. Are you going to be okay that we will all feel you unsettled? Now I sort of read that before and I didn't get it, and now I understand. Like, yeah, you guys can touch the sleeve, okay? Like just the sleeve. Because, yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, people in my personal space. But yeah, it's oh, and I'll bring a ball of the yarn as well, just in case I can't handle it. Oh, it's so funny. Actually, I probably got the swatch. I'll bring the swatch. Good point. Good point. All right, so we're up to the next color. So we should dice roll, baby. Oh, funny story. This week I was doing some videos where I needed to tidy up the background a little bit. So I folded up the blanket, tucked all its tails in and turned it around the other way so the tails weren't all hanging out and it wasn't quite so messy. Like for us, we don't mind, but for non-crafty people, they might care. So anyway, I've heard something fall down the back because the bookshelf doesn't have a backs on it, so everything can just push through. I was like, oh gosh, I'll deal with that later. This morning, I've pulled out the blanket and realised it was this. This one had fallen down the back, and I'm like, oh man. And my husband's like, what? What's wrong? And I'm in the kitchen digging around a drawer. He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I can't reach it with my little arms. I need to get the tongs. So here I am, like squatting down in front of this bookshelf here with tongs. And my husband walks in and just goes, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. And just walks away. So what he doesn't know is I actually stuck the tongs back in the clean drawer. So it's going to be Russian roulette with the yarn tongs now. I have about 250 grams of a linen cotton. It'd be great for that. I reckon. Now, the pattern is not a free pattern, but I believe it's worth every cent, and I'm going to make it more than once. So I am there for it. I highly recommend everyone make one. I'm like, anyone going to the retreat, make a ranunculus. No, there's a joke going around, like every 5 minutes there's something else that people at the retreat are going to make to wear. Like 1 minute it's long pants, and now it's Sierra sweaters, and now it's a ranunculus. I wonder if I could make a ranunculus out of Sierra. I probably could, you know. I've got some pretty, some of my colours are fairly subtle. I might have to have a look at that. It might be a nice sweater for the winter. Anyway, it's dice roll time, everybody. And my dice roll button didn't work. There we go. It's dice roll time. Roll the dice to choose the next colour. Alrighty, so let's roll the dice for the first colour. Let's everybody put in the chat what colour you would like. Yeah, we're doing long knee-high socks as well. That's right. there's a pattern and it says it's 100 grams for knee highs, and I'm just like, yeah, okay. I have 300 grams available for that pattern, so we'll see. We'll see. Even if it takes up 200 grams, I'll be happy. Shannon wants blue. Angela wants purple. Christina wants pink. That's a big mix, everyone. That's a big mix. More purple. Vampire wants green. That's Team Leanne right there. All right, I'm going to roll. Let's see what happens. We got a 4. We got pink. We got pink. So Galah. Come out, Galah. There we go. Okay. Let's get it started. I need a sip of tea. In my cup today, I have the Tea Fatalia mint sliced tea. I don't know if she still has her sale on, but even if she doesn't, it's totally worth buying. Okay. So those of you that are channel members, there'll be a new video up tomorrow. Those of you that are not channel members, you'll have to wait until Saturday. I have made a review video of a product that I purchased with my own $1. And yeah, so you'll get to hear my thoughts and opinions on the thing that I reviewed. Totally not giving away anything, except for the fact it's a review video. So, and let me know in the chat, how many of you actually went in and watched that Rivalry video that went out last week? Kelly has a link in there for Tea Fatalia. Thank you. It has been a while since Galah. The last one's down here. It's actually been longer since we've had green or blue. So, yeah. But it's been a while. Bianca watched it. Excellent. Excellent. Oh, and I've just realised we are streaming both to Facebook and YouTube again. I'm just seeing if we've had any Facebook messages. We have not. Freaky saw the video. Excellent. Molly watched it. That's great. I'm just trying to work out if it's worth making these videos. They take a bit more effort than a live stream, and, you know, the difference being is they do actually age better than live streams. So while they might start slow, they build up over time. The live streams build up straight away and then peter off because lots of people don't like to watch a replay. Kelly says, I loved the Rav video. Organising my mates is just the best. Yeah, I thought I'd pop in something a little bit extra for those that have an existing Rivalry account. Knitspin Girl says, I've been on Rivalry since the beginning and I still learned something. That is awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I think, what did I work out? I've been in Rivalry since 2008, I want to say. I think I'm like I think my Rivalry number is like 71,000 and something. Freaky says, I think the Rivalry site needs a more in-depth tutorial. I find it very hard to navigate. I will be bringing out more tutorials. So I have one more that I've already shot, and I've got a few more that quite a few more that I plan on making. So if you have got a Rivalry thing that you would like to know how to do better, please go and comment over on the video so all those things are together. And so just go and pop over there if you've got something that you would love to see me make a tutorial on. I will be using different software for future, so it's easier to zoom in and highlight things. I was just testing out something that I had already, and this other one I've got already. I just have an older version, so you know, it's we'll see how they go. We'll try and make it clearer and easier, especially for those on mobile devices and things like that. So it's just practice. But yeah, I found it, like, I decided I could just make it, you know, how to add friends on Rivalry and how to start your account. And I thought, oh man, there's this one little thing that I use all the time. I split my friends up between like real life friends, so that I can remember who's a human and who's an avatar. So yeah, Christina said, I used Rivalry for a while. We'll be watching the video this weekend and then making the most of what is there. Kelly has popped in a link to the video. You know what's really funny is I actually have not accepted the friend request yet, or I have not reciprocated the friend request. At least I don't think I have. I'm like, I need to go in and do that. Thanks for the reminder, Freaky. But yeah, it's one of these things like that just because you use Ravelry for a while, watch all the videos in this series, because even if like the video is 5 minutes long and 4 minutes of it is stuff that's not, you know, you already knew, whatever, there could be like one little nugget in there that you just were like, oh, like Kelly here is our Ravelry guru and I taught her a thing and I'm so proud that I taught her a thing. It made me so excited. Bob Curran has made it. She's washing up, cooked sourdough pancakes for Smoko and is now sitting down for a cuppa and a pancake. Smoko's morning tea, FYI, those that aren't in Australia. Sally has made it. Yeah. So I slept in trying to boot the computer up and need to make my mocha. Enjoy your mocha, Sally. You got to enjoy these things in life. So yeah, so it's one of these things. Like I will watch knitting tutorials and crochet tutorials, even though I think I know how to do the thing. But sometimes it's how someone explains it might just make something different click. And you know, and you just be like, wow, okay, I didn't realize that could also mean this. So that's pretty cool. I measured the blanket after last week's live stream. We have hit the 1 meter mark. It is 1 meter long. So that makes it, does that make it 3 feet or over 3 feet? I don't even know. What's feet to meters? It's like 101 centimeters right now. It's just over the meter. So we are past halfway. Well and truly, because I want it to be about 1.6 meters long. So we need to work faster and get through it. But then I have to find another pattern to work on. Except I already have yarn. I have yarn over there with my little beady eyes on it. Kelly says, yeah, it was great. It meant I also reviewed and did a health check on my profile info too. Yeah. It's one of these things. 1 meter is 3 feet. Okay, there you go. So it's 3 feet long. So that's cool. Good to know. I thought it was around there. I didn't realize it was exactly that. Oh, it's not exactly that. 1 meter is 3.2 feet. Okay. Yeah, I figured it was around that area. Leanne says, I agree with that. I needed to watch several Magic Circle tutorials before I found my teacher, one that resonated to me and how I learn. And you know what? Like, I'm the same with like learning how to do YouTube stuff as well. Like, I float around and listen to a lot of different YouTube educators. And then every now and again, one of them will just really resonate with me. So I will dive in deep and watch more of their content. Sometimes, like with Primal Video, I joined their accelerator program. With Nick Nimmin, I help out his moderating team. You know, like I jump in. I'm like I don't do things in halves. So, and I really enjoy both of those. Both of those guys. Oh, look, there's a few more. I love Shelley Saves the Day. I love how she teaches YouTube stuff. I love also watching Think Media's videos. They've got a whole team of people who put videos out, and their stuff is really fun to watch as well. It's a really different take on it. And there's a couple that I'm like, dude, that is not right. That is old. That is not how things are done anymore. They're just not quite keeping up to date. So it helps you learn which ones to trust and which ones not to trust. Freaky says, I learned this when measuring wraps for skeins. Okay. Megan says, I find when I learn a new stitch, I will watch a few different tutorials. Absolutely. Sometimes you've got to just learn how to do things. Home Rapid Repair, speaking of moderating with Nick Niven, Home Rapid Repair is a Nick Niven viewer. So they come over from the learning the YouTube stuff. So that's exciting. Thanks for joining again. But yeah, so it's just, you know, when we're learning things, you need to, don't give up. Like if you find a video and you're like, oh, this is too hard, I can't do it. Don't give up. Find another video, find another teacher. See if it's the thing that's hard or if that person's convoluting it to make it seem harder. Or that person just, there might be just something with the tone of their voice or how they describe things. It just doesn't work for you. It is always, always worth finding a second opinion sort of thing, like a different instructor. It's always worth it. Oh, and something as simple as this. Sometimes you just need a different camera angle. Absolutely. Absolutely. Just to see things from a different perspective. It's really interesting how it all works. And it's not just with yarn crafts or YouTube stuff. It's with anything you're learning. Oh dear, Freaky Geek's in there again, making jokes. Making the jokes. We're nearly at the end of this row. I had to YouTube the Italian bind-off as traditional bind-off was flaring. Yeah, so this is the thing, like finding the perfect cast-on or cast-off is just like for your project to finish it off perfectly. Like at the moment, I'm using a cast off. I don't know the name of it, so I'm going to describe it, and someone in the chat might know the name of it. So you work a stitch in pattern. So if you're doing knit stitches, do a knit stitch. If it's a purl stitch, do a purl stitch. So work your stitch off in pattern and your second stitch off in pattern. And then actually come back and put your needles through those two and then knit them off together. It's hard to describe. It's easier, like if you saw it, you'd be like, oh, that's simple. So I really find that that's giving me a nice edge that doesn't flare but still has a little bit of stretch. And I'm enjoying it. Oh yeah, so isn't this annoying, Home Rapid Repair, that you can't tag people in the chat when you're on mobile? It's actually something I've mentioned to Renee, so YouTube Creator Liaison, a few times about how frustrating it is. And then they bring out the new moderation tools and put them on mobile only. And you're like, well, I don't mod from a mobile because I can't tag anyone. So thanks. Now I have to have two devices open when I'm managing moderator for someone. Good job. Well done, YouTube. Oh, Christina said it's an elastic bind off. I just did that for the Jody shawl by Hohi. Okay. Oh, that one flared on a 1x1 rib. Really? That's frustrating. Yeah, Francis, iPad is also a mobile device. So YouTube, it's only laptops and desktops that you can tag on. So, yeah. Freaky says, going to lurk. Chat's popping in and out of sight. Not sure why it does that. Oh, that's frustrating. That's frustrating. But yeah, I've been using that bind off now for quite a few things. I find it to be super good for like socks and shawls and just something I want a little bit of elasticity on where I don't want the surprisingly stretchy bind off. I find that one flares a lot. I use that one for shawls. Yeah. Francis, I don't think you can tag on a Android phone. I can't unless you're in some sort of beta group. I'm just jumping into YouTube right now just to check. But I do normally, I've got to mute my phone. I will come to the Fiberific Lives chat because I know that they're live. I can't type Fiberific apparently. Fiberific. Live crafting chat. Let's go in here. Got it. At the game. So you can type. So this is the thing, right? I'll bring this over here. You may not be able to see it. You can be typing the name and use the @ sign, but it doesn't autofill it. Like, I don't get the Gamer Widows pop up, which, like, when I'm in the live stream, it doesn't work. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually go Fiberific, because that should highlight on my screen. Let me see. No, it didn't highlight on my screen. So while you can type the @ sign, it doesn't highlight it for the viewers to see it. So you can't properly tag from a mobile device. Yeah. Let me look here. Game Widows at Fiberific tag test. Yeah. So Game Widows, it didn't work for her either. No. So you can't tag correctly on a phone. Oh, hi, Claire. Thanks, Leanne. Leanne says, Chantelle, Claire is driving and listening to you. Say hello. Hi. So, yeah. So, unfortunately, while you can use the @ sign and start typing, it will not tag them. So, yeah. And there's a lot of discussion. So, let me have a look here. I just signed up for StreamYard and was setting up an XL. I'm going to assume you mean XLR mic and mixer. Such a learning curve. I'm watching YouTube tutorials literally as I'm trying to learn this stuff. Yeah, XLR mics are great. This is an XLR mic that I'm using right now. And I'm using a little, it's not so much a mixer, but it's an audio interface. So, yeah, XLR mics can make a great difference. Sometimes not, if they're not set up properly. So, see how you go. Look, you know what? It could be. I don't know if it's a Gboard limitation, but YouTube said that they don't have that functionality set up for mobile devices. They didn't realize so many people would want to tag people while watching on a mobile, and then they put the managing moderator tools on mobile. Anyway. Oh, okay. So a message for Claire from Shannon Cooper. The math worked for my hat. So, yeah. The math worked for my hat. Tessa, I have a really super awesome fix for this. Because as a person who makes tutorials, I get in the same video, I'll have someone saying, you talk too fast, I can't follow it. And other people going, you talk too slow, it's annoying, right? In the exact same video. So if you look at your video and you hover around on your little screen, you'll get to see a little cog. Tap on the cog and you can choose the speed. So I actually watch a lot of content at double speed. And so I will do that a lot. I will change the speeds depending on how the person talks. Because I'm with you. Sometimes the things are just too slow and I'm just like, oh, come on, just get to where I need to be and show me how to do the thing and just, speed it up. So this way you get to decide. So you can hit that cog and you can make it slower, or you can make it a little bit faster by going 1.25 or 1.5. And I think 2 is the fastest. I could be wrong. I don't have a screen handy to click on it to check. Oh, I do. Hang on a second. Like, I don't have a screen handy. There's a little, on the mobile device, the little cog is there, right? You tap on that and, oh, wrong cog. Oh yeah, okay, all right. So it was the wrong cog. So you tap on the screen, dip, and you get a little cog up here. Click that cog, and then you can choose your playback speed. So I've got normal chosen, but I've got all of these options from all the way down to a quarter of the speed, all the way up to double the speed. So you can totally do that on anything. So one thing I will point out is if you are trying to be somebody who is supporting a creator, and that creator is trying to earn watch minutes, so if they're trying to get monetized, if you've watched a 10-minute video at double speed, so it only took you 5 minutes to watch it, that creator only gets 5 minutes of watch time. So that's just something to keep in mind. If it's just someone special that you really want to try and support, But if it's just like I need to learn a thing and like whatever, and just double speed it, don't, because 5 minutes of watch time. Oh gosh, my phone just slid down, scared the life out of me. 5 minutes of watch time is better than none minutes of watch time. So, but yeah, like Kelly, I love changing the playback speeds. I do it in so many different things. I do it for podcasts, YouTube videos, when I'm in educational groups. So if they're on Kajabi or something, I will change the speeds there as well. About the only person that I don't double speed is Nick Nimmin, because he speaks at double speed and I cannot understand him when it is double speed. So yeah. Yeah, Claire does need to concentrate on driving. You're right. She did, but it's like listening to the radio, right? You can have the radio on in the car. I put live streams on in the car. I don't look at the screen. I just have it running through my car stereo audio so I can just listen. I do it all the time, just like a podcast. What about having the video muted? Does that affect? No, it doesn't affect anything. It's playtime. A lot of people who are deaf, they'll just mute the videos as well, because they're watching the subtitles. They're not listening. So the volume and the mute doesn't make a difference at all. So yeah. Oh yeah. There's a huge difference between how fast Dee and Nick speak, isn't there? It's kind of funny when they're live streaming together. It does crack me up. Leanne says, my favorite feature that some creators use is time markers for different parts of the tutorial. I love that. Yeah, setting up timestamps is something that you can totally do. There's a lot of people that are like, oh, if you use a timestamp, people will skip this part of your video and then, then you lose that watch time. But I just look at it as, if you don't have the timestamps, people may just leave anyway, because they're looking at like something that's like, say, a 40-minute tutorial and they just needed one little bit. Are you going to make them scrub through? YouTube will sometimes actually, like, there's a button you can click that YouTube will auto-generate timestamps sometimes. And sometimes when you put in the timestamps, it doesn't make them pretty. But you can check it in the description or in pinned comments. Quite often there's like these blue time markers. If you tap that, it'll send it to the point in the video. The other thing that you can do as a viewer is, if you realize, oh, this was a really amazing and important spot, you can put a timestamp into a comment. So you can be like, oh, at 08:47, which is 8 minutes and 47 into the video. So 08 and then the 2 dots, what's that called? I don't know, colon, and then 47. Hit space. It'll look normal while you're typing it, but when you hit enter, it changes it to blue, so other people can go, oh, it's at that time marker. So there's always those options as well. So lots of different ways that you can help make the creative journey easier for other people as well, not just have because sometimes for myself, I know I have every intention of going back and adding timestamps, and I don't always do it. I just it's like, okay, I can either do that or I can move on and make another piece of content. And at the moment, I'm trying to get myself back into making uploaded content, not just live streams, because while I love the live streams, you guys know how much I love the live streams. I want to make some uploaded content too. I'm trying to grow the channel. I want to hit that 10K, because that was my goal for this channel, was 10K, and I kind of got off target. So I'm getting back on target. And to do that, I need to make uploaded content. Where are we? I watch a playthroughs at a particular game and they have it at double speed. I always have to turn the speed down. Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you're trying to learn where to go, sometimes you might need to slow it down. And being able to do that, have that option, is great. Yeah. And the other thing is, if you tap on, I don't know if it works on mobile, but if you tap on your screen on a not on a live video, but on another video, it'll bring up this little graph, and you can see where people have actually gone back and rewatched something, because like the graph will be like across here, and then it'll creep up and then come back down, or creep up and keep going up. And so that's just in the, like, if you hover around the bottom section of the screen, that shows you where people have actually gone back to replay something. I think that's actually really cool that that's available on videos for you to see. So there's lots of options. There's so many ways for you to work out where the good bits are. Okay. Question for the knitters. Would you usually use a smaller needle for the neck rib on a jumper? Absolutely. Usually the instructions on a pattern tell you to go down a needle size or two for your rib sections to bring them in and give them that little bit more of elasticity. I think that it depends. Like for my shirt, I decided not to, but that's because I just wanted the look of the rib. I didn't want I didn't want it clingy. And so I made that as a conscious decision. But usually, yes, I go down a neck size for all ribbing. And not a neck size. Go down a needle size for all ribbing. YouTube is great for tutorials, but sometimes I rabbit on with a whole lot of nonsense before the actual content. This is the thing, Molly. Like, I'm a rabbiter. I rabbit on. I do. And I'm not going to apologize for it because you've come to my channel to learn something from me. And I'll see comments all the time like, get to the point. I'll delete those comments. That's rude. Someone has gone to the effort to make you something to watch for free and how to do something. And then if people are like, just get to the point, put a timestamp in. You don't need to write, get to the point. You can write, oh, I found that the thing that I really wanted to learn started at this timestamp point. You can make the point of this is all waffle and then have a timestamp and be super helpful to other people without actually being rude to the creator. And so the thing is, for some creators, me included, sometimes this is our interaction. Interacting this way is our interaction. So we have got things to waffle on. We've got things to talk about. In saying that, sometimes people will talk about like they've come back for like a tutorial on how to do a thing. And then the first half of the video is about their holiday and they've put in like photos and videos. And that to me, that's annoying. Are you making a tutorial or a blog? Cut all that, put that into a whole other video so that the people that follow for you can watch that. But it's if they just waffle a bit or they're talking about the yarn that they're using. Oh, I like this yarn's great. Okay, so back to the work, you know, if it's still a little on topic, like leave it. But if it's totally random stuff, this is the price you pay for your free YouTube content. It's like television. You've got to put up with the TV ads. So they are totally not anything to do with what you wanted to watch, but you get to watch television for free. So you get to put up with it. But yeah, that's what I find annoying. Is that the totally off topic thing? Just to clarify. I'm just going back here. Kelly says that she always goes down and need at least half a mil. So down a size. Yep. Francis says, I can't read knitting patterns. I find them too confusing. So making my own based on a swatch and a shape guide. Awesome. That's awesome. We're back to Flamingo. So yeah. Terrific creations. Hey, how are you going? Good to see you here. Shannon says that she likes that they waffle. I think that that's part of the thing, isn't it? Some people like it and some people don't. For some people, it's a connection to the creator and they feel like they're having an actual conversation. They feel like that they're involved more. And this is the thing. Like, I mean, I'm the queen of waffling. I'm sorry. I waffle all the time. And it is, I'm a waffler. I'm not going to deny it. My videos, I waffle. I try to get to the point or at least try to keep the waffle on point when I'm making a tutorial, but I do waffle. Here we go. This is thing. I wanted to watch a tutorial the other day, 30 minutes. The first 20 was irrelevant. Oh my gosh. Yes. I can see how that would be frustrating and you would never be rude to the creator. I appreciate that. I would seriously go in and pop a timestamp in and just be like, hey, this section here on this was fantastic. I found it at this timestamp. So the other people who come to watch, if they're anti-wafflers, they can skip all that as well. So yeah, I would legit go and pop a little timestamp in, but I would write something sort of a little bit encouraging to go with the timestamp. Sally's like, waffles. Now I'm like, waffles. Good job. What aggravates me about Off-Topic Waffle is when it's 10 to 15 minute video that is half waffle. A short intro and update is fine, but half the video annoys me. I'm like, this video that I'm putting out is like a 20-minute video, and I'm like, oh man, how can I tighten this down? But everything is related. It's like, I can't I could tighten it down by doing a total reshoot, which I'm not going to do. But I'm like, oh man. So I'm probably feeling it a little. I'm like, oh, because I feel like 20 minutes is long for this as well. So I love to listen to Tina. I could listen to her accent all day. I know some do not. Tina was new to videoing and jumped into the Queen a little nervous, so she talked lots. That's part of it as well, especially for new creators. They're nervous and they may not have the editing skills to be able to pull out some of it without destroying the final product. Anybody that knows me knows I never waffle. Okay, Leanne. And who lies in the live chat for 50 points, please. Yeah, it's one of these things. It's really, really tricky because sometimes it comes down to the creator being nervous. It comes down to them not having the skills to do like the edit, to remove the waffle. Like they may actually see it and go, oh, there's so much stuff here that shouldn't be here, but I don't know how to fix it. So there's that as well, because we don't know what's going on in the brain of the creator we're watching. We don't know how hard it was for them to actually hit upload. I know of people that have hit upload on a video that wasn't top notch, that wasn't what they wanted. But I have this, done is better than not done, so this person may be struggling with that. Maybe like, I need to get this journey started, but I don't have all the skills yet. So for an example of that, if you guys ever get bored, you could go back and watch some of my beginning videos. They were different than what they are now. Let's go with that. They were different. So over the years of me being a YouTube creator, I have learnt many new skills. I have learnt different ways to do things. I have slowly upgraded gear so that so tasks are easier to do, so that I can do it without, things like my first knitting tutorials. I had a mobile phone set up here. No, it was worse than that. I had the back-facing camera on my Surface Pro, and I'm like trying to have arms around it and knit and talk quietly because it was using the microphone and I was so close to it. So sometimes it's not always good. And then if we're a little rough or a little harsh, we may actually put somebody who could make some beautiful content off. So I'm always like, even if you've got a point to make that's a valid point, especially about waffling, there are ways to write it so that it's still encouraging and still positive. Like, I would love to see this section in its own video so that I can enjoy that for what it is and enjoy this for what that is. So yeah, there's lots of different ways that you can treat creators, because a lot of them are like me, in a room in their house, where every upload they're feeling sick in the tummy because they don't know how it's going to go or how it's going to be taken, or is someone going to get angry at it and write something mean? Is someone going to pick on my hands? Is somebody going to... I've actually added the words fat and hideous into my blocked words list because people have typed that as their comment. So people are mean. Some people are mean. And so as a creator, any word that triggers you, put it in your block words list. You don't need to see those comments. Those people can go to the void. Here we go. We never waffle when we're on the phone. We're not waffling. We're very quickly imparting information to each other. It's very different. Here we go. Claire has left us on the background of her channel and allowed her followers to watch as she recorded a tutorial. So much work involved. How good are blooper rolls? Oh, absolutely. Some of the best. I remember many years ago, I watched Tim Schmoyer recording. I think it was one of his. It might have been a podcast. Might have been a tutorial. It was something. He was recording something, and he did an overhead shot where he live streamed the recording of the thing. And I remember sitting there watching it. And just like me, he had to stop and say his name, the first line, about 9 times. And I was just like, I watched that and I was just like, oh my God. It happens to everybody. Even the education creators out there have to stop and start. But we learn over the years, we learn ways to actually stop better, focus, look at the camera, and restart the whole sentence. Whereas I used to just try to cover it, keep talking through it, and editing through that is really, really hard. So learning little skills to just stop, recenter, go again, so that you can just hack that entire bit off. The only good thing about waffles is they hold more syrup than pancakes. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Some people are just awful. Absolutely. And I agree, Artag. No amount of waffle is worth rude or nasty comments. And some people don't feel like they're being rude by saying, get to the point, or you go on for too long before you teach us something. They actually don't feel that that's a rude comment. They feel that that is constructive criticism. But that is not. That is just outright rude. If you want to give constructive criticism, give constructive criticism. That's just like you waffle, or, you know, you talk too much. That's not helpful in any way. That's just, it gets people flustered. I get anxious every time I film. Claire has a channel with over 400,000 subscribers and she still gets anxious every time she films. I get anxious every time I film, and I've got you guys. You know, like, this is the thing. Every person is different. So, excuse me. I would never be rude to a creator. I try to live by the wisdom of Thumper. If you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. I love that. I didn't realize that was a Thumper thing. Gosh. Kudos to you guys for just getting in front of a camera. I could never do that. I feel the same way about like singers and stuff, because I like to sing. I'm not very good, but I like to sing. And someone will be like, oh my God, why do they even get on stage? They're terrible. I'm like, dude, do you know how hard it is to get on stage and sing a song? Like, it is. Like, they got stones. They have got confidence, which is something I don't have. So to me, that's better. That's better than any, like, you know, skill. So yeah. Look, I agree. I'm a pancakes person. I like waffles, but they've got to be really good waffles. And I've got a waffle iron, and I don't make waffles, so I should probably learn. I should learn and utilize the waffle iron. Francis says if someone is waffling, I just scrub past it. Absolutely. My theory is there's always an off button if you don't like something. Yes, absolutely. Definitely. If I was there in person, I'd be making faces behind the camera to make you slip up. I'm really glad you're not here in person. But I would probably laugh. I would laugh a lot, probably. But yeah, so there's a lot to creating. There's a lot to having a channel, and there's a lot to just hitting that upload button. Like, you can make a video, you can edit the video, but actually sitting down and hitting that upload button, that's where when I get nervous, because I'll make test videos all the time. I'll make little walkthroughs for people on how to use some technology and stuff like that. I'll looms and everything. I have no problems with those. The second I'm uploading it to YouTube, that's when I start like, oh my gosh, okay, I have no control who gets to see this. I could, like, when you guys see it, it's totally cool, because you guys know me. You guys know, you know, that I'm trying to do some stuff, and you know that I struggle with some of these things. But some rando that YouTube suggested to may not, and they could write something harsh or mean or terrible. So It's just, yeah. Oh no, massive clap of thunder that shook the whole house and my Wi-Fi went bye-bye. Oh no, Knit Spin Girls, but hopefully you actually get some rain out of this. I don't know about you, but we definitely need some rain here. Gosh. I would be unplugging things. Unplug the things. Francis says I've uploaded, I have a couple of songs I've uploaded, but they're all private. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, you're keeping those for yourself. I may record some of the songs I do, but I've never uploaded them anywhere. And more often than not, I listen to it once and then delete it. Just I'm like, okay, yep, cool, delete. I'm a hero behind the keyboard, but there is a reason I'm not a content creator. I don't like cameras. Yeah, look, I'll be honest. It took a lot for me. My issue, and this is one of the issues I have been having over the last few months, is I haven't been able to edit videos because I can't stand looking at my own face, right? And I know it's weird. I'm live streaming. I'm not looking at my face. I'm looking at the camera. I'm looking at the chat. I'm not staring at my own face. My camera doesn't have a vanity thing on it. I am seeing a little black circle of a lens. That's what I see. So when I have to edit videos, I have to look at my face, listen to my voice. And when my brain's not in the best places, these things can't be done. So I'm trying to get back into the habit of it again. So this video that I'm bringing out, you guys can know this. I'm not 100% happy with it, but I'm trying to get back into a habit, and sometimes getting it done is more important than getting it perfect. So yeah, that's right. And I'm looking at my hands, and I'm looking at dice, so many other things. Catherine, hey Catherine, how are you going? This is Catherine. I go double check. I think this is the Catherine that runs the Australian wool store who made the beautiful yarn, or not made, who sent me the beautiful yarn that I made these out of. Do you guys remember these? Oh, so squishy. So yes, Catherine, I have like stuff in, like I keep putting into my cart because I'm like, I'm going to order more wool. And then I'm like, no, you don't need a sweater. Now I'm like, which one of Catherine's million colours could I use to make it a warm ranunculus? Because I'm on a ranunculus kick now, Catherine. So, but yes, what you're saying here is right. I don't think the mean commenters would have the courage to say it to your face. I love the blanket, by the way. I'm loving the blanket. The blanket is so bright. It's like, it is hot pink. It is not red. It's so hot pink the camera doesn't like it. None of my cameras like it. They all hate it. So next time I plan colours for a project, I have to stick them under the camera first to double check it's going to work. That's why some that's why some creators employ editors. Absolutely. Absolutely it is. It is totally why some, and also just a time-saving thing. And if editing's not your jam and you want the videos out anyway, hiring an editor means the videos get to go out if editing's not your skill. Thank you. This is the link for the Australian Wool Store. And we have been trying to, so Catherine, I may not have mentioned this to Catherine. I've been getting people to chuck in that, they found you from me. So I don't know if anyone's been doing that, but yes. It's very content based on what you want from a video, whether it's crafty chat or learning a skill as to what you want from each clip. Absolutely terrific creations. And the title and the thumbnail should make that clear to people. If you're teaching and learning a skill, then you need to make that clear in the thumbnail. If it's a personal vlog or a trip or a hangout and chat, then make that clear as well. And then you'll actually learn from your analytics what people are interested in and how they're finding that information. So, okay. Catherine's watching from Facebook. That's why you guys aren't seeing Catherine in the YouTube chat. See, she's got a little blue F next to her name. So she's watching from the Facebook page. I like lurking. This is one of the only channels I talk on because everyone makes me feel welcome. That is awesome, Shannon. I'm glad to hear that you feel welcome. Make Abby my editor. I brought you into this world. I can make you edit my videos. You know, Abby did a film and TV thing at high school, and I can tell you right now that within about 5 minutes, she would be like, "Mom, can you show me how to do this thing?" And I'd show her, and then she'd be like, "Can you?" You know, and she'd be struggling with something. "Oh, you just need to do this." "Oh, what do you even know?" I'm like, "Okay, I've only been editing videos for like 6 years. It's fine. It's fine." What's this one say? Oh, freaky. I should have known. I should have known. I'm thinking, can't see. Yeah, it's in the Facebook. It's in the Facebook. How hard is it to just be kind? Apparently quite hard for some people. Apparently for some people it's very difficult. My biggest thing is I have to, like, when I'm on like Facebook and Instagram and stuff and I'll see something I don't like, I'm like, I don't need to write my opinion in their chat, and just keep scrolling. Oh, you forgot about the Facebook Live? Yeah, I'm going to run it together for a little bit to see how they go. You know, we'll see. Yeah, yeah, that explains. Yes, yes. Oh yeah, she may be spreading that nickname around. I know. You know, she's got my cousin calling me that now. I'm just like, oh, man, I don't like it. I just don't like it. I think it's time for some more tea. My throat's starting to get a bit dry. It's on the Facebook page, the Fibrific page. It's not in the Fun Zone group if you're looking for it on Facebook. So, yeah. I can barely take photos of myself. Kudos to filming and putting it up for everyone to see. Yeah, and see, that's the thing. Like, you should see me. It's like, oh man, I need a new thumbnail photo. I'm like, oh man. And so I'll take some photos and I'll be my harshest critic on them. I'll be like, I take 15 photos. I'm like, well, only one of those is usable. But yeah, it's definitely, some people are way more confident than others with it, really, is what it boils down to. But for me, it was practice and pushing through my personal brain stops. And the live streams you hear in the live makes the world of difference. What it's done is actually made me not afraid to sit in front of a camera. So I am very comfortable sitting in front of a camera now. I still struggle with the upload. I still struggle with the edit, but I just don't struggle talking to the camera anymore or talking to you. Do you lose royalties from YouTube when people watch it on Facebook? So technically, yes, I lose that one person's view because they're viewing it from somewhere else. But that would add it to my Facebook views. So on Facebook, once you hit, I think you've got to have, Claire might know this better than me. I'm not right up there with Facebook, but I think you've got to have 10,000 followers and a certain number of watch minutes, and then you can actually be monetized on Facebook as well. Now, my Facebook page doesn't meet any of the requirements at all, like zero. But I also know some people don't love YouTube, so I just thought I would try and see how it goes. And Catherine, who never makes it to the YouTube live, made it to a Facebook. So I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, the people that are watching there are not watching from YouTube, so I don't get income from them. But one day, I may get income from Facebook. Maybe. A lot more work needs to be done before that happens. So if you don't actually follow the Fibrific Facebook page, not the group, not the Fun Zone, but the actual Facebook page, you could go over and follow that page. That would be great. We are our own worst critic, Shannon. You are absolutely right. We really are. Or at least I know I am. We are nearly at the end of another row. You guys might need to start telling me what colour or what number on the dice I need to roll. What am I doing? I am looking for this spot here. So, yeah, we're nearly ready for a dice roll. How many people in this chat have a YouTube channel that they upload content to? I know everybody who's here in YouTube technically has a YouTube channel because it's how YouTube make it so you can chat. But how many of you upload public content on your channel? Just out of curiosity. Oh, and thank you, both. There we go. Oh, this one here. This is the link here for the Facebook page. So that will take you straight to the page. So Sal's one. I'm not sure what Kelly's one is. It looks like a group page as well. I don't know. But this is the one that I normally share. We're getting some colours in. We're getting some Freaky does it once in a blue moon. There's no sound unless it's birds. Getting some more colours. Got 2 questions going at once. I'm sorry to confuse you with that. Game Widows has put content up, but not for a long time. Shannon never has. Angela says, I have a channel that has some public content. I used to vlog a lot more a few years ago. I need to get back into doing it again. Vlogging can be really fun, like especially for you, Angela. You go to a lot of fun events, so you could be vlogging those. I don't go anywhere, so my vlogs would be super boring. Like, oh, here I am sitting on my couch again. Oh, you removed it. Okay. All right, cool. Bub says I wouldn't even know how to find my YouTube channel. There you go. Well, you're logged in with your YouTube channel right now, Bub. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to comment on YouTube. Technically, a YouTube account is a YouTube channel, but it's not until you start uploading content that it starts counting towards being a public channel. Maybe 1 public video for Francis. Yep. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Home Rapid Repair has a public channel. But they may have gone already. Excuse me. Alrighty. Catherine says, I'm watching you on YouTube as well, but I can't figure out how to comment on YouTube, so popping over the Facebook chat. Catherine, are you logged in on YouTube? You can't comment if you're not logged in. So, yeah. That's the big catch there. Hydrate. Oh, good point, Sally. I'm so close to the end of the row, though. I'm just gonna get to the end, and then I'll drink some water. I've got some water here as well. Deb D is in the house. Hey, Deb. How you going? Oh, there we go. Would you please... Here we go. Catherine is logged into YouTube. Would you please do a video for the border stitch at the beginning of a round for the mosaic blanket you're making? I have to go through all of the Havana videos to find it every time I make a blanket. I've never made a Havana. But I will make a video. I will make a video when it is time, and I will do it from the start and just make it its standalone mosaic border video. But I've not done the Havana. The Havana looks amazing though. You know, now that I'm like on this ranunculus kick, so my brain is totally on the ranunculus right now. I could order like, you know, 500 or 600 grams and get a beautiful ranunculus sweater out of the gorgeous yarn from Catherine. Out of that. the merino, the superwash, superfine merino. That's the one I like. Yeah, no, sorry. Deb's asking, can I watch with subtitles? Not during the live. After it's finished processing, you can watch it in the replay with subtitles, but unfortunately, during the live stream, subtitles are not available. Angela answered your question. Good job. Or the Queen. I've done the Queen. Yes, I have done the Queen. Did I did the border on camera. I don't know if it would be part of a live stream, but I will do the closed border as a separate video. Okay, we have done with the pink. It is time for a dice roll. It's dice roll time. Roll the dice to choose the next colour. Okay. Let us roll the dice and find the number of the colour that we're going to join on next. It is a 5. It is Parrot. We've gone from pink to red. All right. It's a good red. You know, it's a good red. It just feels very similar to the pink. That's all. Same tone. Same tone. There we go. It is here. Let us join it on. Got some floof on the table. Take the floof away. Alrighty. Single all the way across. Let's go. If you want to make this pattern that I'm working on, there's actually a link in the description to Claire's channel. This is one of her easy mosaic blankets. Definitely worth grabbing. She has a step-by-step video tutorial on her channel as well on how to do it if following a pattern is not your jam. But she also has the pattern available, and there's a discount code there if you want to buy the pattern. So you can utilize all of the things. I am using the Maker Dirty DK. There's a list of the colors that I'm using in the description below as well, along with an affiliate link. If you decide you want to buy Maker yarn, please use my link. I highly appreciate that. Gets me a little commission at no additional cost to you. Angela says, I wish my brain could comprehend the mosaic patterns. One thing I will say, now I want to preface this with, this is my second mosaic project. The Queen was my first mosaic, okay? So I'm basing this off Tina's style of patterns and off this pattern here. You only work with one colour per row. So it's not like colour work in knitting where you could be working with a couple of different colours in a row. And you just need to work out if you're doing a single or if it's time to do the double. So they normally have some sort of mark in the patterns for that. So you can follow it along fairly easily. Now the advantage with Tina's patterns is she quite often puts up step-by-step tutorials for the basic versions of the different designers and not designers, because normally when she does these blankets she has like a multiple versions, and she will quite often put a step-by-step of the most basic version, so you can work from that. Terrific Creation says, my 3-year-old wants to put on Bluey, but it's Mum's turn right now. Absolutely, little person. Not for too much longer. Not for too much longer. You can cope. I have a question. Terrific Creations, are you based in Australia or are you based somewhere else? Because I heard that some American families were getting upset that their children were picking up Australian accents from Bluey. I wanted to know how true it is. I know that my cousin's children, no, my nieces and nephews, my brother's children, they've picked up American accents from watching American television and playing American video games. So it's kind of funny. So yeah, it's definitely one of these things. Now, for those of you that are like talking about the mosaic, this one is such a simple pattern to get started on, because it's a row with your contrast color, and it's a whole row of single crochets. Then the main color that you choose is 4 single crochets, 4 double crochets, and they alternate so that they turn into brickwork. It's really, really very, very easy once you get started. Like, you've got to like do it stitch by stitch. Don't look at the broader picture of the project, because it's overwhelming. It's legit overwhelming. And I would start with something nice and basic like this one, and then move over into one of Tina's more creative, crazy ones. I love my queen a lot. I made it enormous, and even in winter we don't use the blanket. It turns out it stayed here on the shelf. Partly because we do have a new pet, so we didn't want to bring it out while she's, we're having to deal with having to wash all our blankets over and over again, because she is a kitten who, while she seems to be quite happy to do number 2 in the litter tray, she tends to do number 1 wherever. So we are trying to train her out of that. So let's not put the handmade blankets that are quite heavy and big and bulky on the bed for now. She's getting better. As she's getting a little bit older, she's totally getting better. Is that the link that I've popped in the description? That just seems like a wordy link. I mean, it could be. It could be the one. Let me look here. I can look in my description. Maker. Here we go. Try that one. It's a little less scary. I think it's going to go to the same place. Oh, mine has an error. Let me have a look. Ah. Okay. Yeah, this area is password protected. Okay, use Leanne's link. Ah, far out. Bob says Tina's new pattern has pops of colour scattered throughout. Oh, I have to go and check it out. Damn it. Sure. Oh yeah, I'll have to check that link. That was working, so it stopped working. I'll have to find out. Oh, no, yours had an error. Because mine had an error as well. Like, I clicked mine and it came up with it needed a password. I'm just going to go to Claire's website. Bear with. Live troubleshooting to get you a good link. Shop. Using mosaic pattern. No. There's a problem with Claire's website. We'll have to talk to Claire about it. You cannot go to the website for the written pattern. Just go to her YouTube channel and grab the check out the tutorial. Crochet with Claire, mosaic. Hang on. Don't want the video starting. Claire's site, Claire's fault. Alright. There you go. So look, that's the link to Claire's video. You can find all the step-by-step for this blanket in that video. Yeah, mine didn't work either. So both of them went to Sal says, oh, here we go. 23 months of membership. There we go. That's in the way. Woohoo! 23 months already. I know, it's nearly 2 years. It's so weird. It's so weird. You guys who have supported the channel by watching the videos and joining the channel membership and choosing your monthly pledge amount, or those of you that are still over on Patreon, I see you. Thank you very much. And just, so what I'm trying to do, actually, I've got to work out a way. I don't know if I can give Patreon viewers access to members only content on YouTube. I don't know. I've got to work out a way to do that. I didn't even think of that. But tomorrow there'll be a new members only video. Well, it'll be a members early access is what it is. It's not a members only video. It's members get early access to the video content. So tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. my time, so 4 hours before my live stream usually starts, the video will be released to members, and then Saturday morning at 6 a.m. my time, it will be released to public. So members do get the videos early. Angela is off to bed. Good night, Angela. Have a good night's sleep. Do you know what? I didn't have a drink. I just got started. There we go. I definitely needed that drink. I needed the liquid. It's quite warm here today. I've got the door closed because of the comings and goings in the house. And I am thirsty. I'm talking. There's so much talking happening. Claire was where I learnt to crochet when she used to go by Bob Wilson 123. Oh, that is awesome. I think there's a few people in the chat here who learnt to crochet from Claire. Oh, excellent point. Excellent point. The southern states in Australia will be moving over to daylight savings. So you need to check out the time that the stream will start for you, okay? It'll be 10 a.m. Queensland time that the stream starts. So if you're in southern states, I believe it's an hour later. So I think it'll start at 11 for you. So keep an eye on that. There you go. Leanne and Megan both learnt from Claire. Looks like Shannon also learnt. So it'll be 11 for New South Wales. So probably 11 for Victoria as well. Bub says, I used to watch Claire when I had dial-up internet. Oh my gosh, that's some time ago. Because Claire started her channel around when YouTube started. I believe Claire's channel was 2006 or 2007. I'd have to check. I waited till 2016 to start mine. Or end of 2015, I created the channel, but I think the first video up went 2016. Sal's, it'll be 10:30, so you get to sleep in a little bit, Sal. Oh, Frances likes the latest stream because she can do stuff beforehand. That's awesome. Oh, Terrific Creations has met me at Bendigo a few years ago. Oh, wow. Well, it's good to see you again. It's really hard when there's no photo and it's a handle name. But the reality is at Bendigo, I may not even recognize your name, which sounds terrible. Molly says, I learned to crochet from library books. Me too. And very poorly at first. Claire's Live is where I met Chantelle from Leanne. Yeah. I remember when you and I met for the very first time in real life, Leanne. That was fun. That was at a craft show as well. And then Leanne realised Chantelle's not scary. She's not scary. Francis says, my mum and books taught me to crochet. One of my aunties tried to teach me when I was younger. I remember that. I failed miserably. And then when I was in my early 20s, some older friends' mum were having a baby and everyone was buying like the same sort of gifts, and I wanted to give them something a bit different. And so I would walk past this yarn store at Hornsby every day. And so I went in there and had a talk with the ladies there. I bought a pattern. It was a Peter Pan baby blanket and some Peter Pan and Wendy yarn in white and peppermint green, like little flecks of a pale pepperminty green. It was so cute. Then I went to the library and borrowed a library book and sat down and learnt how to make all these squares and made this blanket. And my squares didn't look like the squares in the book. I just figured, the squares in the library. No, in the pattern. But I just figured it's because I'm new, but they were all holding together and everything was fine. And they were all the same, so they worked together. And then I did that. And I just thought, okay, maybe crochet is not my thing. And I sort of put it down for a few years and then decided just to learn a basic stitch and made myself a single bed blanket in trebles and striped colours. And that is when I realised there are two crochet languages. And the pattern I bought was in one crochet language and the book I learnt from was in another crochet language. So I dug the pattern out of my old archives, sat down and did it again. And lo and behold, my squares look like the squares in the pattern, because the pattern was written in Australian English terms and the book I borrowed was written in American terms. So, joy. But the blanket still looked gorgeous and the people I gifted it to loved it a lot. And it was the only handmade gift they received. So, I was pretty chuffed. Not sure how we met the first time, but first time in person was Bendigo. Yeah, I don't know how we ended up in each other's orbits. Maybe it was a mutual. It was Eggshell Bunny. Eggshell Bunny was our mutual. Vanfia taught Artsock how to crochet. I love that. I love that a lot, actually. It was either Claire or Bella Coco that taught me, but it was Claire's Easy Rib Hat that was my first project. What about YouTube terms? Oh my god. A little while ago, I'm going to say years, it's got to be years, I did a poll that asked people which crochet terms they used, and I specified US terms versus English, Australian UK terms. And people were adding YouTube terms. It's like, no, the YouTubers still use one of these languages. Anyway. Her fingerless gloves were mine. I still wear them. Oh, I like that. Same thing for me. It took me a while to figure out what the problem was, but it was nearly 50 years ago. Yeah, it's tricky when there's two languages, right? And they make the same stitch, and the other problem is that they use the same words that mean different things. Like the whole not single crochet. Oh, what am I doing? I'm just going to randomly do a pile of chains for no reason whatsoever. The double crochet is the American single crochet, and the treble is the American double treble. I can't remember off the top of my head. Yeah, but they use the same words that mean different stitches, and that's really frustrating. No. Yes, I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing the right thing. Don't pull the stitches. No. I'm pulling the stitches out because I was working over the tail, and I don't want to work over the tail. I don't have to. No, come back. Don't go away. Oh, man. Let's just start again, okay? Let's just... What on earth? What on earth was that? Oh, in the Japanese crochet books. Oh, that's right. It was charts, American or Australian. They were just the threes that I specified for this particular thing. And the number of people that came back with that said YouTube, I was just blown away. It's like the language that they use in those videos is not its own language, or it shouldn't be. My great aunt, Master Crocheter, taught me as a small kid lots and lots of chains and doubles and eventually trebles, all straight lines. It was many, many years before I did a granny square. When I'm teaching people crochet, I do not teach them a granny square straight away. Granny squares involve learning how to slip knot, chain, work into chains, make a magic circle. No, not work into chains. Make the magic circle, work in the round, double crochets, color changes. There's 6 things. And then they have to join the pieces together if they're not doing one big one. So my beginner projects tend to be things like massive chain necklaces where they chain a 50-gram ball of yarn and then we loop that and tie it over. Something Jenny King taught me, and they look fantastic. But it gets them so comfortable with chains and tensioning their yarn that they're ready for the next step. So, yeah, granny squares have a lot of skills involved to learn how to do a good granny square. I don't consider a beginner crochet project. Yeah, that's right. UK has no single crochet, it goes straight into the double. And yeah, that's how I tell the second, like I'll look at a pattern and the second I see a single crochet, I know it's an American pattern or written in American crochet language. But I flip between the two very easily now. It does, like if I'm reading it or working it, and when I'm crocheting, I think in Australian, but that flips as well. So just to be confusing. Oh, the Australian wool store. Catherine has jumped in under the Australian wool store. I really love the Japanese crochet books. I find the charts easy to follow, but I'm not a very experienced crocheter. I actually don't have a lot of Japanese crochet books. I want to get my hands on more. I've got a Japanese knitting book, which I just love to pieces. But I definitely need to get my hands on more Japanese crochets. Now, Catherine, are you planning a guided tour of Japan for 2024? Did I read right when I read that you are planning to take a group over and do like yarn stores and fabric stores and all this stuff? Like, I think it was you. I could be making crap up. No, she is. Oh my gosh. Is the information for that available on your website? Is that where I read it when I was over there hunting for colours to make my next thing out of? Because maybe one of the moderators could pop over and grab a link to the page on her website that talks about this amazing trip. I was reading it and I'm like, oh my gosh, this sounds amazing. It sounds so much less scary than doing one of these trips by yourself. Having someone who's been before and can, it just sounds wonderful. The trip of pure heaven. Oh, that does sound fantastic. It sounds, I can't do it, but it sounds wonderful. And I definitely want other people to know about it because somebody else might be able to do it. So if one of the mods could grab that from Catherine's website, just to throw something fun out there for them to do. Oh, there's only one single room left. I am so thrilled that is booking out. That sounds amazing. There we go. Sal's jumped in and grabbed. You guys need to go and check that out. Like, even if you can't go, just go and have a look. Oh my gosh. My sister lent her Japanese crochet books to someone and they were never returned. Oh my gosh, that's so disappointing. That is so disappointing. I hate it when stuff like that happens. Some friends of mine in Sydney, there was a family who had an extensive book and game collection. They had a whiteboard where they would actually write people's names and what they borrowed. It was like a full library system. It was so good. It was so good. I'm like, I need that. I need that to work out where some of my stuff is. But yeah, I don't have a crochet Japanese book. A Japanese crochet book. I'm going to have to go and have a look and see if I can find one to have a look at. There'd be one on Amazon, right? I could check it out on Amazon. Love me some Amazon. But yes, I also love charts. I had to be speedy with the cat yelling at me to let him out. Oh my gosh. Marmalade's a naughty boy. Ginger cats are always extra with personality, right? And Macy, who is our new ginger cat, she is also extra. And Abby's been away for a couple of nights, so Macy's been hanging out with us more. And last night, Macy was on a rampage. I could not keep my feet still enough under my doona because Macy would do the whole 2 paws on the feet and then just bite them and just like and you'd pull your feet away and then oh, I'm sorry, I know his name's not Marmalade. And I didn't know that his name wasn't Marmalade. I must have missed a Zoom call. Sally has this ginger cat who joins us for Zoom calls every now and again. And for years I thought his name was Marmalade, and then Sally's like, his name's not actually Marmalade, you know. We were like, wait, what? We had renamed her cat without realizing it. Somebody had done it. It wasn't me. But I still think of him as Marmalade. I'm sorry. But anyway, Macy's been a bit psycho the last couple of days. So I'm glad Abby's home today. She can deal with Macy for a bit. Bub says, being a visual learning person, I love charts. Look, do you know what? Knitting charts, love. I love knitting charts so much for lace. I just think it's awesome. But they have to be clear and they have to have a legend, preferably on the same page, so I can just double check everything. Otherwise, I'm flipping constantly just to double check I'm doing the right things. And use the accepted iconography. Some people make charts and put in random things to mean the thing, right? Like an @ sign means a knit two together. And it's just like, no, dude. No, dude. There's a sign that means knit two together. Go and get that. If you're going to sell your patterns, go and buy the stuff to make the patterns good. Anyway, it bothers me. And there's some crochet designers that do the same thing. Not too many. I do notice that there's the crochet iconography is a lot more universal. But yeah, I just like, come on now. Just come. I do find that the crochet and knit patterns, I struggle with the cable patterns, like the charts. That's just from lack of practice. I don't think I've done any. Like, there was a chart and there was the written version. I went with the written version. And with the crochet, it is when they're doing the front post stitches and back post stitches, how it's like the little hook thing with the line. Anyway, that throws me as well. But again, more practice would fix that. Art's got to go. Oh, the next cat we get, we're going to call it Marmalade just to throw us. It's like, and it should be not Ginger, just to really get that out there to make it even more trickier. Yeah, like, don't invent the wheel, reinvent the wheel. There are existing and accepted iconography for both knit and crochet, every stitch just about, unless you've reinvented the wheel, which no one has. You're doing a version of something, there's probably an icon for it already. So use that. Seriously. I would totally redo a chart if the designer has used weird symbols. Yeah. I've actually asked for a refund before. Designer used their own made up symbols, made 0 sense to me, and I just went, hey, can I please, you said this had a chart, this is not a standard chart. Oh yes, it is, we just use our own symbols, blah blah blah. No mate, sorry, if you're not going to use the international symbols, then it's useless. Can I please have my money back? And they ummed and ahed about it because it was a PDF, and I understand that, but they gave me, I'll give them credit, they gave me the money back, and I deleted the file, and I did everything on my end to make sure that, they could see that. But yeah, it was a thing. Get your, if you're going to make a chart, do it properly. There's plenty of software out there. Plenty of software out there that makes it easy. I'm going to teach bunny from a square. I don't know what that means. It's starting to warm up in here. I'm starting to melt. I need more liquid. More liquid. Catherine, I absolutely love working with your yarn. I've got to put in another order. And I keep meaning to, and then I don't. Like, I worked out, I was just like, for a new Arco sweater, I think I worked out that I need 13 balls, and it was like, because you do the special deal, I was like, sweet. No, I needed 14 balls. So I was like, sweet. So I could still get a ball for free. So that was so cool. And then I never ordered because I couldn't choose the colors. It was so hard. I had to choose colors. There's like 56 colors in the beautiful, super soft, super fine merino. And it was just so tough. It was your first project from Claire, was the slouch cross beanie. Nice. It took me years to be comfortable reading them. I'm so glad I persisted. That's the thing, isn't it? It's like anything that we want to learn, sometimes we can't learn it the first time. Sometimes we can't learn it the first 5 times. But if we persist, eventually we'll be either comfortable with constantly looking it up, which is generally what I end up doing, or we actually do learn it. So persist. If you struggle with charts and there's things that you want to make that are chart only, persist. But if you struggle with charts and then none of the designs that you like actually chart, then that's different. I'm so glad. That's so good to hear. Yeah, it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Francis says, I find charts so much easier than written patterns. For me, it depends on how my brain's working that day. Yeah, the decisions of colour choosing, it's so hard. I'm like, I could totally go grey. I'm like, no, I don't want to make myself a grey sweater. I want to make a fun sweater. I have a question for the Australian Wool Store. So for Catherine, just say that I wanted a more emerald green rather than a leafy green. Do you add colors? Like, how often do you add colors to your range? Not that, it's like 56 colors is a lot of colors. Like, I don't want to be too picky. But, like, is that a possibility to add, like, a different, eventually, like, do you add colors? That was my main question. I know it comes down to cost and space and all that sort of stuff, but I'm just not sure where you're up to with that. We are getting close to the end of the row. So you guys will have to start telling me what color next. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. The sock pattern I'm knitting at the moment has a lace panel down the side of the foot. No chart. It's doing my head in. Could you make a chart? Just out of curiosity. Would that help you if you just sat down and made yourself a chart? Quite often you can use Excel. A lot of the chart signs are in Excel. Not all of them, but a lot of them. I find all the abbreviations on written patterns so confusing. I've now gotten to the stage I just can't cope with them, so I make my own. Oh, there you go. Shannon is learning to read charts. Maybe we could do a video together where we do a basic project from a chart, even if it's just a little face washer or something. I actually have permission from a designer for a knit shawl. So maybe we could do that. And the shawl's got some lace in it. Some basic lace, but it's some lace. That's a possibility. Something I had permission for a little while and haven't done, but I can get there. Bianca says, I've got a chart coming up for my current project. I am not looking forward to it. Okay. I've just created my commercial range, so it probably won't be for a year or two, which is why I also hand dye yarn, so I can create pretty much any color you want. Do you hand dye that? Oh, this is bad. Do you have hand dyed in this base? Like the same base, like that you can hand dye it? I don't want to know the answer. I'm scared of the answer. I'm so scared of my credit card. I can feel it weeping. Oh my gosh. Where are we at? Holly has joined us. Hi Holly, how are you going? Yes, it will be the beginner. Absolutely, it'll be a very beginner lace project. We'll do it as a pre-recorded. It won't be a live stream, so that you can go back and learn more things. But we can talk about it in live stream. So if anyone's stuck or something, I can always troubleshoot it. I use Google Docs to work from, so don't know how I'm going to do the chart part. Sheets. Google Sheets that has a lot of the same extra things that you can use from Excel. So check out your Google Sheets options, and you want your special. Go and look in your special characters. I know I'm super late, but are you doing a tutorial? I am planning on doing a tutorial. I'm discussing a future plan of a tutorial that will be a pre-record. So it will come out to channel members first and then out to the public after. And we've got a video that will be coming out tomorrow. It is a review. It's not a tutorial. The tutorial has not been shot because we've just remembered literally in the last 4 minutes that I actually have permission from a designer to do one of her projects from start to finish, every step of the way. And it's a free pattern, so it's easy. I hand out 100% merino. It's a bit different twist compared to the commercial. It comes in all the plies though. Oh, see. I've got some of your luxurious hand dyed, something that was like 50% silk, 50% something else, and the hand dyed was just amazing. Oh, stop it. I'm gonna have to have a look, because if I only need like 3 or 4 skeins for a sweater, that brings it back into much more doable on hand dyed than before. The pattern I have rights for, or I have been given permission for, is actually a knit pattern, so I'll have to find something else for a crochet pattern. But yeah, I'll find something. I'm sure there would be a designer who would let me do that. Alrighty, where are we at? We can dice roll. We can choose another colour. I'll have to finish it another time, but we can totally do it. So let's get in. It's dice roll time. Roll the dice to choose the next colour. Okay. Let's roll. It's a 4. More pink. Oh my gosh. There's so much pink. It's so much pink. Oh. Oh, the bunny from a square. I understand what you're talking about now. I know that one. Yes. Yes. I understand it. I can now picture the pattern you're talking about. Wouldn't it be nice if it ended with a wild card? That would be great, but it didn't. It didn't end with a wild card. Oops, bring my hands over a little. Oops. Don't lose the dice. Alrighty. So this Saturday we have got a Caffeinated Crafters in-person event at the Kawanda Cafe. There is an event on the Facebook page at Fibrific. If you are intending on coming, I need you to make sure that you've RSVP'd on that page. I am booking chairs according to who said they're coming there. So if you haven't mentioned it, there may not be a chair there for you. I will have a couple of extras, but only a couple of extras. But yeah, we'll see how we go. So I have that. I'll also be live streaming on my other channel on Saturday night my time. It will be YouTube chat related. It won't be craft related. So if you enjoy YouTube stuff, feel free to pop in and say hi. Let me just think what else I'm doing this week. Making more videos is a big thing. I'm trying to catch up and get a few made ready to go so that I can get into a routine but still drop a video every week but not be recording every week. And that's on 2 channels. So the other channel I have, like, I started here. Here I've got 2 videos ready. One dropped last week. One's going to drop tomorrow. I've also got other videos recorded, ready to be edited. They're not edited yet. And then I have to make the videos for the other channel. I have not made them yet. They're scripted. They're ready, but I haven't made them. Then they need to be edited. So I just sort of get into the swing of things over here first, and then get into the swing of things over there. And then combine it all together and do swings and roundabouts on both. That's the plan. That's the plan. I'm going to Spotlight to spend my $10 voucher, and we'll have a nice banh mi at the shopping centre. Oh, that sounds lovely. That sounds very good. I've got leftovers from dinner last night, unless somebody's eaten them while I've been in here, which is a possibility, of a pesto chicken with broccolini, capsicum. Actually, Abby won't eat it because it's got mushrooms and tomatoes in it. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. I know how to make it so that she won't eat it. Dun, 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 dun. So happy. But yeah, so I'll be having that, and it's basically in a pan. I grill some chicken, bit of onion, no, not onion, bit of garlic, bit of oil, just enough so it doesn't stick to the pan. Chop up the chicken. Then I add in like a big handful of spinach, chopped up capsicum, like basically whatever veggies are handy. But last night we had spinach, cherry tomatoes, little tiny mini tomatoes, broccolini, mushrooms, mixed all that in, cooked it all off, and then add in like a big tablespoon, like a big, huge heaped tablespoon of pesto sauce, and then cook that off. Cook some angel hair pasta, like takes 2 minutes. Cook the angel hair pasta, a couple of tablespoons of the pasta water, mix that through just to spread the pesto sauce a bit better. Then when I'm just making it for one, I toss the spaghetti or the angel hair into the pan and toss it all through that way. If I'm doing it for the whole family, then I just serve it out with the spaghetti first and all the other stuff first. So that's a pretty popular meal here. So it's one of those ones that I used to make for myself for lunch all the time, and then Abby saw it, and I thought she'd be all like, yuck, it's got green, because she hates pesto. Well, she had a taste, didn't she? Well then, now it's in the regular rotation for family dinners, so yep. I'm not complaining because I love it. Oh, and sometimes I'll sprinkle over just a little bit of cheese. Megan plans on crocheting and gardening and watching the grand final. I was going to say, which grand final? There's a couple on this weekend, I thought. Terrific says, chart set off my dyslexia for some reason, written patterns for my brain. Everyone is so different. I know, and that is the huge advantage of having charted, written YouTube tutorials. Like, I love that there's options for everybody. Holly says, I took a pot roast and roasted veggies over to my dad's for dinner. It was so yummy. That sounds amazing. So a pot roast, would that be like, I'm just trying to think of how I would make a pot roast. So it's like a casserole. Is that right? Like in Australia, it's like basically you put your piece of meat into the big pot with the lid, and it keeps all and the lid basically seals in the oven, and it keeps all the moisture in. Is that right? I don't know. I always get a little bit confused with some of the things, because like your casserole, like we've got different kinds of casseroling. There's the wet casseroles, which are like all the meat and the veggie and the sauce all goes into it together like a slow cooker thing. And then there's the pot roast one where it's just the meat has been browned off and then put in the pot and then put in the oven. I'm just checking while I crochet here. Because my little casserole dish, my little one, broke. So now I tend to alfoil boat. So basically make a big thing of alfoil, put the meat in that, and seal that alfoily thing up, and then put that in the oven. Then all the meat cooks in its juices. The juices stay with it. It stays juicy. What are you doing? Are you doing the countdown? You did the countdown to midday, didn't you? But I'm near the end. I'm going to finish it. Broncos and Lions. Yeah, go the Brisbane teams. Both my teams, not that I follow sports ball, but both the teams for my city are in their grand finals for their respective football codes. So we've got the Lions for AFL and the Broncos. No. Yes, the Lions for AFL and the Broncos for NRL. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's because I've done mine with a slow cooker with a piece of topside beef, a can of cream of mushroom soup, and a packet of French onion soup mix, and then just let that cook. And then yeah, you get the rich gravy with it. Okay. Oh, you're counting stitches. Oh, you keep losing count. Okay, sorry. I thought you were counting down to midday. Just checking. I'm like, come on now. Lost it again. Ah. We're nearly at the end of this row. We will get it done. And then we will get it done. Nearly at the end. I understand if you've got a dash, but I need just 2 or 3 more minutes, I think. I don't know how long it's going to take. You don't have powdered ranch here in Australia. I think we can get it now. It is very popular in the US. I see it used all the time. I've seen people here using a garden, it's like a powdered garden soup mix that can be utilized. Spring garden soup mix, I think it's called. Anyway, I think the ranch is, I've spotted it every now and again and thought I should grab some of that to try, and then I don't. So, yeah. I thought I'd seen it. I know I can definitely get the ranch dressing. Holly says I really only use it for my pot roast. Yeah. It's like me with French onion soup mix. I only use it for a hot pot, like a pressure cooker roast. There's something about it though that just gives all the extra flavors that you need. Leanne says I just use Italian herbs as a replacement. Okay. I'll find out the name of the other one that I was thinking of. It's got a name. A friend of mine uses it in her rissoles when she makes rissoles for the barbecue. And it's very tasty. I'm very boring. I just use meat and salt and pepper and some herbs. I don't use anything else. I just use a meat with a 10 to 15% fat content, squish it flat, and then cook it. I don't like the big fat ones. I like the little thin ones that spread across your burger better over the bun. Now and then I like a hit of flavour. Yeah. Me too. Me too. Actually, something I haven't had for a while. I was very looking forward to doing in winter, and then I didn't do it. Is I make a spicy hot soup, and I forgot to do it. And now we've lost a chance. It's 30 degrees days. I don't want hot soup. Oops. There we go. Nearly there. Alrighty, that's it. I don't realise you would take that as time, Chris. No, it's all good. It's all good. I think it was because I was looking at the time and I'm like, oh no, I'm taking up people's time. And I'm always a bit like, oh, I don't like taking up more time. I'm like, 2 hours is plenty, not 2 hours and 5. It's all good. Aircon for your soup would work. It would, actually. It does. We've done it every now and again. I just feel like the big veggie hit with all the spices. And so I'll just pump up the air conditioners and make the hot spicy soup. Guys, huge thank you to those of you that stick it out to the end and hang out with me while I finish off the rows. Massive, massive thank you. If you have not yet watched the new video that went up last week, please go back and watch it. If you've got suggestions for videos that you would like to see for Ravelry content, walkthroughs on how to do different things in Ravelry, or ask if it even does a certain thing, please pop that into the comments area on that video so that I've got them all in one place so I can make a nice list. In the meantime, I will see you all around here next Thursday or in the comment sections of the new videos as they drop. Have an awesome one. Bye now.